Good morning, everybody. Delighted to be joined by Scotland's Robert MacIntyre in the interview room this morning. Bob, you are tied sixth on your debut in the Championship in 2019. I know you love this course. How excited are you for the week?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looks a bit greener than last week, so that's a positive for me. But no, I love coming back here. Fans are unbelievable, and yeah, just preparing as well as I can to get the tournament started.
Okay, we'll go to the floor for questions. Just Mike, one here.
Bob, we've seen some putters that are great on the tour level when they come over to play Lynx Golf struggle a little bit. Just wondering what the unique differences or challenges are of putting, on an Open Championship course.
Compared to America? I mean, so different. For one, the grass is different. The slopes are more subtle. When you play on regular tour, whether it's PGA Tour, European DP World Tour, the slopes are normally just they're there. They're obvious. Whereas you play Lynx Golf and it's very subtle. You might. So I use aim point, and I think the reason that I normally putt well on Lynx greens is because I use the aim point not as a science, not as a. I've not got the answer. I use it as a guide, and then I go down and look at it because there is so many. I mean, you use aim point in the putting greens, and you can maybe feel a 1, and you move it 4 or 5 inches, and it's a 1.5. Like, it's just so many subtle moves. So I think that's a big factor, and also the wind. The wind is, if it blows 20 mile an hour, it's hard to stand the way you normally stand because you've got to try and brace yourself for the wind that's gusting. It's not just a constant that it just buffers, so then you start moving. But yeah, thankfully I'm used to that.
Craig, Mike 3.
Bob, very quickly before I ask a question, how did you get on with your seasickness yesterday?
It was all right. It was nice and calm.
When you came here the last time, you were able to kind of freewheel in as this youngster with sort of no cares. Now you're being talked about as one of the tournament favourites. A lot of people's picked to win it. Can you just give us an idea of the difference in your own mind with the pressures of that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, this week's completely different to what I had last week. I still feel like I've got no real care. Yeah, people might have tipped me to win it, but to be honest, there is so many guys this week that can win this tournament. So I'm going to go out there and enjoy playing Royal Portrush again and give it my absolute best. And that's all I can guarantee.
Martin.
Bob, just go back to 2019. That was your major debut. Can you just talk about how you felt at the start of the week, how you grew into the week?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, standing on that first tee, the nerves, because you've always dreamed of playing these, you've watched it on TV since you were a young kid, and I got to just live another dream. And yeah, it was difficult, but I also got a little bit lucky when I managed to finish just in time before the proper storm came in 2019, and then I remember sitting in the player dining, and I'm just like, I just keep blowing. I mean, I thought the roof was coming off the place, and I'm just like, keep coming. I just was watching it, watching me get further up the leaderboard. But yeah, it's a different week this week, but just looking forward to it.
You're playing with other Scots this morning. One of them's a hotel planner tour player, the other two are amateurs. What sort of advice will you have for them, and what are you looking to get out for that round today?
Yeah, I'm going to go and play 18 because yesterday, the beautiful sunshine, we couldn't get out. So, yeah, 18 holes today. And look, I'll give them any advice they want, but if they ask for it, I'll give them advice. If they don't, then that's fine. I'm going to prepare still the same as I try to every week. And yeah, we've got to try and win the Open.
Mike 4 at the back.
Hi, Bob. I know you were pretty frustrated about last week. I just wondered how well you've done with putting the past in the past, and have you progressed with that? Have you got better at it, or were you always quite good at sort of leaving last week in last week?
I've always been pretty good at that. I think Sunday after the round, I picked apart some things that will help me going forward. Look, we don't play much Lynx Golf. We play maybe 4 events if we're lucky. So I changed to Titleist equipment in the start of last year, irons, and they're brilliant 99% of the time, but I hadn't used them when it was brick hard, firm, when there was hardly any grass. It was like sometimes your ball was sitting just on, I don't know, it was almost dirt, like it was so firm, so compacted. And the irons I use are to help me get the club out of the ground because I'm steep. And last week, because it was brick hard, the club wouldn't go in the ground. So it was just the short irons I was struggling with. But once we picked that apart Sunday after the round, once I'd spoken to you guys and actually had calmed down, I was thinking clear, it was like, right, there's a learning curve. And then we spoke to people yesterday about how we can be ahead of the game for that happening. This week it's not going to happen. We're having some rain, so it's greener already on the range. I'm seeing the strike going up the face. I'm seeing the ball flight going up in the sky. So a completely different week this week.
John at the front.
Bob, a month or so on from Oakmont, give us your reflections on that tremendous performance, but talk, if you would, a little bit more about that. Yeah,
just a brilliant performance. We were lucky that the weather allowed us to play golf. The rain that came in softened it. Thankfully, no wind, or it would have been absolute carnage. But thankfully, it still allowed us to play golf the way we probably should be playing golf. And yeah, I thought it was an absolute brilliant effort. When I finished, I thought if someone beats that, fair play. And JJ played better on the week, and for me, that's as good a performance as I can put in around probably the hardest golf course on the planet that we play.
Nick?
Hi, Robert. You've always said, well, in recent years, Portrush is probably one of your favourite links courses in the world. What is it about it, and was it kind of love at first sight, kind of back in the day?
Yeah, it's how the golf course flows. It's not so much just the holes. It's not 9 holes one way, 9 holes the other way. There is everything on this golf course. Visually, it's obviously enclosed by the dunes either side, so you've got visuals off the tee. I played it when I was in the home internationals, and it just, obviously 17 and 18 have changed since, but as a newly designed golf holes in the modern game, I think these are as good as it gets when they've been redesigned. I mean, so many golf courses try and trick it up, but this place, I mean, it's a par 5 and a par 4. Par 5 from the tee shot hitting down, bunker on the right, hitting back up the hill with a wind that's normally off the right, and then you got onto a little shelf and then you hit across the top of the hill. I just think the whole golf course is absolutely beautiful to the eye, but also plays absolutely brilliantly. You've got holes that you've got a chance, and then you've got holes that you're just trying to hang on.
Mike 3.
Hi, Bob. Just that bit you said before about clearing your mind Sunday night. I mean, when you go through the technicalities of your game and one thing or another, how do you sort of decompress? Like, you're able to is there a point in the night when you can just like simply say, forget it, and you're clearing your mind?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I tell everyone, give me an hour. I can go as mental as I want for an hour, and then after that, I just back to life.
So what do you mean mental? Like you're on your own? Or you just?
I can do whatever I want for an hour. Anything that I want. Can break things. You can literally do whatever I want for an hour. But after that hour's gone, my job's done.
Right.
Like for an hour and a half before my round, 2 hours before my round, I'm preparing, so nobody gets in my way. like just warm up, stretching, gym work, all of that. So there is a, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour window that I'm working. And if you have a bad day at work, you're going to be annoyed.
It happens more often than not.
Do you know what I mean? So it happens more often than not for me as well. But it's just about, once that's gone, it's been difficult in the past for me to reset. But nowadays, there's so many golf tournaments and you don't know what's coming the next week. And actually, I thought Saturday, Sunday I played better than I did Thursday, Friday. Right. Scores didn't show that, but I wasn't in the thick of it. It was there was no buzz for me. The U-draw kind of took that buzz away from it. I was on the wrong side, and yeah, Sunday just wasn't a good day, but I'm here this week and I'm as ready as I can be.
Yeah. Just final one. I was going to say, that fire though, that fire is what can be the difference in making you feel ready to win a major.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you need.
I'm fiery on the golf course when I'm in tournament rounds. I mean, I'll drop, I was going to say the odd, but a few bad words in there. I'll hit the bag, I'll say some harsh things, but that's what gets me going. If I walk around and I'm all happy, I've just made a double bogey, or people are clapping, thanks very much, that's not me. I'm needing to smash something up or I rip a glove, or I do something to get that anger out. It's better out than in for me. Some people it's better holding it, but for me it's get it out and then just do not let it affect the next shot. Simple.
Okay, we'll go to Mike, one over here.
Hey, a previous question mentioned the idea of giving advice to people. If someone came to you who had never played a links round before and said, okay, I'm about to do it, what are the 1 or 2 things that are going to be really surprising for me or that are going to be the most different from kind of a technical side, what would you say to them?
If it's a good player, it's the ball flight. I've had a few Americans ask me, how do you play Lynx Golf? And I'm not going to name names, but one of them hits it incredibly high, and he's always said, I've struggled on Lynx Golf. And I've played with him recently in America, and I'm watching his flight, and that it's simple. That's why you struggle on Lynx Golf. But again, if they're only over here for a week, don't change the world for 1 week. Just hope that you're going to get flat cam weather on that side of it and you can hit that ball as high as you can. But for me, it's a purest method of the game that we've got, Lynx Golf. So many different ways to play it. It's not just 155 yards, pitch it 155 yards, keep it 2 yards right of the pin. It's not that. It's the unpredictability of what that's going to give us. I mean, you could tee off at 8 o'clock in the morning, beautiful sunshine, and then 8:15, there's a storm coming in, and you're playing, the wind switched. So it's just unpredictable with the weather, but unpredictable with the bounces, and I think that's what I love about it, that if you're out of position, I've got little rules that I keep, that in Lynx Golf, when it gets breezy, there's certain things that you cannot do, and there's certain things that you have to do. And it's just, yeah, I think it's the best way to play golf, is Lynx Golf.
Can you give 1 or 2 examples of what's on that list, the secret?
A lot of guys that I've watched playing it, that haven't played it as much as I have, make the mistakes, and then I'm looking at it going, you cannot do that. Whereas for me, sometimes you can hit certain shots, but you're actually walking up there going, that's all right, we've got a chance from there. But yeah, it's just, I just love it, and I think that's why I've been brought up in it. I play it less now and I think I enjoy it more now than I've ever done it.
Brian at the front.
Yeah, Bob, just on the golf course itself, what are the big questions that the golf course asks you? Can you give us a few examples of some of the shots that you might face and the difficulty of those?
Yeah.
And maybe some of those places where you say you have to hang on?
Yeah, I just think it depends on the wind direction. I know yesterday was the same wind that I think we're going to have all week. Today's a bit different, but you've got to take advantage of the holes that give you the chance, par 5s, drive hole par 4, and then you've got certain holes that you hang on, like 16, 18. I just think Lynx Golf, every hole, there's an opportunity to make a bogey or make a disaster. You get the gorse bushes, you've got thick rough, wispy rough. I had a few last week. I've walked in there stupidly thinking, I'll get a 7-iron on that. Hit it goes over my shoulder. It's just wrapped the club. So I just think every hole there is a different test, but on links, if you hit the fairway off the tee, then you can manoeuvre the golf ball however you want, draw, fade, wind direction, holding it into it. If you're in the rough, it's carnage. And it's not carnage as in Oakmont carnage, where I'm just getting a lob wedge on this. It's carnage that guys are going to think I can hit 6, 5 irons out of this rough, and it wraps it and it goes sideways. And it's just, you got to think about it. Sometimes the shorter club will go further because you've got control of it.
Josh at the back.
Hi, Bob. Obviously, this week's quite a big one for a lot of guys in terms of the Ryder Cup. With Bethpage so close now, just wondering, where do you see the current level of European golf?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. For me, I've had a good spell in the US to get me right up there, but when you look at the amount of European winners on tour this year, it's as good as ever, and the team's going to be ready to go. In Bethpage, it's going to be, it's going to be tough, obviously with the crowd, but it's going to be the same as Rome, that we're in it together, and as long as we've got each other, it doesn't matter what else is going on.
Jim.
Bob, do you have any superstitions or any rituals you follow, before a round or after a round?
No, nothing like that. Just, if anything, it's just my marker. I'll putt with it, white side up. If I hole a putt early on, or a decent 8-footer, I'll keep it in the white. If it's not going in, I'll just flip it to the blue. That's all. There's nothing before the round, nothing after. Just, I don't worry about that stuff.